What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Challenge Season 38 Ride or Dies recap. Today we are focused on episode 4. I'm going to tell you, this season just keeps on giving. I'm just going to get into it. I'm just excited. It's a good season. It's been a while since we had one of these. You know, there's always something going on. But anyway, in the end of the last episode, we saw Darrell and Veronica entering the game. And I mean, at this point, the cast has just got to be expecting. Like, it just kind of is what it is, and people just keep on coming. So, Darrell and Veronica come in. I feel like they're probably, like, the least likely to shake up the game in terms of the 3 vet pairs that have came in. Sure, they have great resumes, but when's the last time that they really did anything? I mean, Bananas won the last season he was on. He's a staple still. Jordan is a freak, just eliminated Darrell on All-Stars. So I feel like they're just not on the same caliber that the rest of the vets are on, especially like they don't have as many alliances. They don't have really like these relationships formed with as many of these younger cats. So I don't think that they're as big of a threat. Starts off with Annalise and Tommy pulling aside Olivia. They obviously went against their word in front of the entire house, so it's something that just needs to be touched on now. Olivia's pissed. Horacio's not around. She says that he is pissed, and she says that Tommy and Annalise are going to continue to be thrown in now because nobody has their backs. I don't think she's wrong. I think that their best bet was going with rookie pairs. I mean, granted, there was only rookie pairs that they could have saved, but now there's only 3 teams that are rookies. We got Tommy and Annalise, Horacio and Olivia, and Colleen and Kim. And outside of that, there's vets. So no matter what happens this episode, a vet is going to have to go in. Even if rookies win it, if vets win it, they're going to have to put in another vet. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But we get Horacio and Laurel who are talking about the situation. And like I said in the last episode of this, like, Horacio's just playing this as a nice guy. I think he's a genuinely nice dude. And there's just not, I don't know, it's just not really a place for that kind of gameplay, I guess. I think that he is going to be thrown in a lot, especially because he's a threat. And it's just, nice guys don't really finish very high in the challenge. I think it's cool to see a different type of player, but we do see Olivia being kind of cutthroat in this episode, though. So maybe they're a good yin and yang. They're a good balance. But anyway, he is talking with Laurel, and you can tell that Laurel kind of has some feelings for him. I listened to the Challenge Mania podcast with Fessy, and he kind of elaborates that none of these girls really, like, they alluded to these 4 chicks and Fessy, and I don't think it's really a thing. I think it was more of just production, the way that they wanted to do messy Fessy up. But I think that Laurel is actually interested in Horacio. She talks about how he's laying shirtless in the bed next to her, and she's all hugged up on him. So I'm curious to see how that's going to play out. Laurel, she's a respected vet, but there's something about her, too, that just is different than the rest of the cast. Like, she doesn't really assimilate with everyone else as much. So it's interesting to see her kind of going with this rookie. I mean, she does have a rookie partner, so maybe that plays a factor into it, but I don't know. Like, it's interesting to see her kind of going this Horacio route, and I want to see where that plays out. So then we get a visual of Olivia, Amber, and Nerese talking about how they aren't scared of these vets. How they're not scared to go in, they're not scared to make big moves. And it's just very weird that Amber is a champ and she's being referred to as like the leader of the rookies. We've seen in every season that she's been on that she really doesn't have any trustworthy alliances. It feels like every time she gets in one, she messes it up and like people aren't really supporting it. So it's just funny to see that she's the leader of the rookies. Like, okay, don't really know how much that's going to benefit you as a champ, but hey, I mean, do what you got to do. Everyone's kind of sitting around a fire at this point, and we're about to get like hookup central now. Like, this is going to be a hookup season. I can tell already. I mean, we already had Johnny and Nerese, and now we got messy Fessy going on, but Fessy's about to set his sights in one place. So everyone's just hanging out around a fire. Fessy's kind of just talking, and then you see him, like, Kim is inside. There's a knock, and he carries Colleen in. Kim himself says that they're cuddling, but we all know what's happening in the challenge house. And then it goes right to a clip of Jordan climbing into Tori's bed. crazy. I was like, She says that it's not sexy, it's just comforting. And then he goes on in his testimonial to be like, or confessional. He's like, oh, well, you know, like when we've been through as much as we have, it just is what it is. Like, so I wouldn't be surprised if some stuff happens there again. Like, we're about to see how that all plays out. Then Nelson and Olivia go to bed together. We've seen Nelson like talking about her, but this is like the first time I feel like we've actually got a glimpse of, is this really happening? Nerese said this is her closest female in the house, so she's cool with it. Whatever makes Nelson happy. Which honestly, that's kind of the best way to be. They seem like they're playing a very good partnering game, especially like for people who have dated before. This could have gotten ugly very fast, but they could have went the Johnny and Raven route. But she seems actually cool with it, so that's cool to see. So, a lot of hookups going on here. Then we get to the daily. Hold on for me. TJ jokes that they brought Darrell in just in time for Heights, and honestly, I believe they did that on purpose. Like, we all know Darrell's history with Heights. It's not a good one. So essentially what you want to do is you want to hold, they have one partner hanging like 300 feet in the air, so you want to hold on as long as you possibly can. When you are getting ready to drop, you vocalize this to your partner. They run out, jump, they have to catch you in midair, and that momentum from the catch is going to swing you out, and you have to grab a flag. If you don't grab a flag, you're disqualified. They've been doing a lot of disqualifieds now I think about it. Like, everyone has pretty much had opportunity to be disqualified on. But anyway, whoever holds on the longest and gets their flag is going to be the winner. So we just get right into it. Laurel and Jack go, miss. Casey and Kenny, miss. Darrell and Veronica miss in horrendous fashion. Veronica misses him like all together and only grabs his feet, and then like does some weird upside down flip that was very embarrassing. 90 Bananas, miss. Michelle and Jay, miss. Chauncey and Amber, miss. Anissa and Jordan are the first ones to get it. Obviously, Anissa's going to be the one hanging. I don't think that Jordan would be able to hang out very long with his whole hand situation, so, but they get it, and like, they're both pumped. Tori and Devin are in the same heat, miss. Fessy and Mariah, miss. We go next. Tommy and Annalise go, and honestly, Tommy could have grabbed this flag, but he's doing like some flying motion, and they make jokes that like he thinks he's on a Broadway show. And like he's just too busy doing like this graceful little spin that he doesn't even attempt to grab the flag. It was very weird. Colleen and Kim are trying to gain momentum, so Kim's swinging on the bar, hoping that that'll come. And Colleen doesn't time it right. She misses him too. So the producers asked Nelson, is this the time you're going to win? And they've been setting this up all season. So I thought he was going to win last week, like the way that they set it up. But this week I'm like, oh, this one has to be his. Like, so many people haven't got it. We've only seen one team complete this, and now they're asking him. They're pushing this storyline a lot here, which I'm cool with. Like, kind of give us some idea of what's happening, because I don't think anyone would have even really been aware of the fact that Nelson hasn't won dailies unless they brought this up. So it is good to have, but they really built it up a lot. So Nelson and Nerese go. Nerese has actually been, like, game planning this entire time. You can kind of see her talking about maybe she should hang and Nelson run because he's heavier and the momentum would carry. Well, it works out and they grab it. And then Olivia and Horacio are the last team and they miss. So only two teams got it done. It was Nelson and Nerese and Jordan and Anissa. And they say that after 54 dailies, Nelson finally got that win. It's crazy that it's honestly been that long. Like, that's almost unheard of. Like, Tori's like, oh, it's impressive after almost. She's like, not impressive, important. And that is a very key fact here. Nelson said he feels like a king. He and Nerese are kind of talking about what do you want to do. They know they have to put in one vet, and Nerese wants to put in two vets. Like, she really wants to take that shot, and he kind of talks her out of it. He's like, look, we don't want that kind of backlash. We want to make this as easy as possible. And the reason that she really wanted to put in two vets is she didn't want to put in Horacio and Olivia. Like I said earlier, her and Olivia have gotten close. Nelson and her are obviously getting close, but they kind of talk to them on the night out, and Olivia is actually cool with it, which Nelson and Nerese are doing this well. They have a good partner dynamic, and now they have like good connections. Like, these connections are okay with taking risks. Like, they're not afraid to go in. Obviously, they've been in twice. They're not afraid to be down there. They're not afraid to do things. So she says it actually makes sense to throw them in for both of their games. For one, it's going to show that Nelson is working with the vets. And then for two, it's going to kind of put some distance between them so that maybe they don't think that they're working as closely together as they are. But I mean, as the game goes on and you continue to see this relationship build, how are you not going to realize that Nelson and Olivia are a match? Especially when you see, like, the Norris-Olivia relationship. So I don't really know how that's going to play out. But regardless, I think that that's a really good alliance for them. Horacio and Olivia seem like a very strong team. We haven't really seen a ton from them. It's only been 4 weeks. But I think we've seen enough to be like, oh, they are a threat. Like, she's a powerhouse. He obviously has some skills here. But anyway, deliberation, Olivia and Horacio, which we knew, Colleen and Kim, Annalise and Tommy, all the rookies. And then Darrell and Veronica. Their thought process here was basically they were the last ones to come in. It's easy. They don't have as many alliances in the house. And then we can kind of make this bond. Be like, hey, look, we're not putting you in. And let's cut a deal. Like, you save Olivia and Horacio, they'll save you. There's a very minimal chance that you're not safe. And they basically think that this is going to be like their mastermind plan, that no matter what, Olivia and Horacio are safe, because Colleen and Kim would essentially save them as well, being the other rookie pair. And while I do believe it is a good plan, and there's nothing wrong with trying to mastermind stuff, it's a challenge house. You can never be too safe. So, like, the fact that they really were able to all get on board and go with this was surprising, and I don't know if I would have been comfortable with it. It would have definitely made me very nervous. In deliberation, well, actually before deliberation, everybody's like shook that Nelson put in Olivia. So, like, obviously they already know you're working together. Sure, it shows that your alliance is with the vets, but even Johnny said, like, that's a cold move. Like, I don't know if I would have done that. But in deliberation, Annalise straight up asked Nelson, like, where's your head at? What do you think you're going to do? And all he says is, good luck tonight. I mean, I think that they know they're going in. They did that dirty move last week against Olivia and Horacio, and it had a hand in sending Johnny home, who was linked up with Norris. So I think that there was a lot of factors at play here that already had made up their decision. So we pretty much get that whole deal going down with the Darrell, Veronica, Olivia, Horacio team. And Darrell actually says he's more comfortable in eliminations because he knows there aren't going to be no cranes in there. So when they get down to the zone, Tommy and Annalise thrown right in. We knew this was coming. At the draw, Darrell and Veronica get the pool first. Blank dagger. Olivia and Horacio are next. Safe dagger. They actually go with Darrell and Veronica, so they kept their word, which obviously, like, you have to keep your word at this point. Your whole thing last week was these people didn't keep their word. They can't be trusted, this and that. So you really have no choice but to go through with your word. So it is going to be Colleen and Kim versus Tommy and Annalise. And Colleen and Kim are pissed. They're like, oh, we're rookies. We're supposed to sit together. But in my head, I'm like, okay, well, one of the rookie pairs is going home, so there's only 2 left. At this point, they need to start solidifying themselves and building an alliance. And Darrell is someone who really takes into account, like, the things you've done for him and if you saved him and this and that. So I think that was a good move on their part. It gained them some safety. I think that it gained them some alliances. But Colleen and Kim are just salty, and it kind of is what it is. Your rookie teams, you're probably getting thrown back in anyways. Like, it's just an easy out. So it is what it is. So they're going to play Flipping Wasted. It's basically 2 giant mud pits, and one partner will be hovering, and the other will be at the other end, have to pull a rope and lift them up. When they're lifted up, they'll have to solve a puzzle, and if they drop the rope, they'll fall back into the mud and not to lift them back up. So the first one to solve the puzzle is going to win. They start pulling, and Tommy can't even get Annalise out of the mud. Like, he is struggling. Kim hand over hands it. Gets Colleen up. She's going with the puzzle. I honestly thought she had it way earlier than she did. Like, it looked like she had it pretty early. But she didn't. And it just keeps showing Tommy struggling. Annalise is just splashing around in the mud, and he cannot get her up. He's yanking on it. He's doing all this stuff. I don't know why he didn't pull hand over hand. And, like, by the time he thought to, he was already so exhausted. And she was lower than when they started. And it was just a mess. But it was rough. Like, it was so bad to where Kim started giving Tommy some pointers on what to do, and he was like questioning, is there more that I should be doing here? So I think that it goes without saying here that Colleen and Kim won the elimination. Tommy and Annalise went home. And we get this clip of Olivia where she says that this shows one thing. If you lie, you are gone. And I'm glad she's doing this in private because a lot of her confessionals are really getting like on the cocky side. I think she thinks she's running the house. And that's not a good place to be like publicly. So thankfully they're in her confessionals. I don't know if maybe she just knows what makes a good confessional and that is what kind of gets you brought back on the challenge. I hope so because I really do like them as a team and I want to see them stick around. But overall, I just thought she's kind of getting ahead of herself. Thinks that she has like this great standing in the game. And she just needs to be careful. It's not a good place to be. But that's essentially the episode. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know who you guys are betting on. We've got a little more time to see people. We know everyone is in the game now. This is where the game really starts, like Tori says. Nobody else is coming in. We're finally down to like the amount of players who basically started the game are now in the game, but going toward the finish of the game. So I'm excited to see what happens from here because we've only got 2 rookie teams. Is it going to be based off of friendships and alliances now? Is it going to be based off of, oh, you're a vet with a rookie? Things are going to get dicey. This draw is making things very interesting, and it's making people show their cards. So leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss another one. And actually, I'm going to be in Florida next week, so I'm probably not going to post one just because I'm not going to be able to watch at the same time. I'm going to be on vacation, so my whole schedule is going to be a little bit off. We're going to be pretty busy doing some stuff, so probably not going to post one, but 2 weeks, we'll be right back here, and I will talk to you guys then. Later.